Hello, my dear students. Welcome to the class of 11th English Medium. The subject is Statistics, Chapter 7, Sampling Methods, brought to you by Vitan Sir. Previously in the tutorial, the second tutorial of the 7th chapter, you can find it at the top right corner of your screen. We discussed about the simple random sampling. That means when the population is homogeneous, that is all the units under survey are similar, how to take a sample. Now in this tutorial, I'm going to start with stratified random sampling. That means when the population is heterogeneous, that is there is more variability in the population, this method is more useful. Once again, that means that in the population different kind of unit sets are available, then we can say that there is a variability, there is a heterogeneity in the population, and at that time we can't use the simple random sampling, because simple random sampling says that the whole population is similar, which if is not the case, we have to use the stratified random sampling. The population is first divided into two or more homogeneous parts called strata. These strata are different from each other and are similar internally. That means that if I know that my population consists of different types of groups, then I will divide my population in such groups that those groups are different from each other. But among those groups, the population, the units of the group are similar. And once I'm done with dividing my population into such groups, the term is stratas, I will select a random sample from each separate groups, and this each sample selected from the groups are combined into a single sample. The method of obtaining samples in this way was called stratified random sampling. The method of creating stratas is known as stratification. So stratified random sampling basically divides the whole population into separate groups, select the sample from each groups, and then combines the samples again. So that's stratified random sampling. Now to understand this, let's take some example. First of all, I have 12 circles here. Okay. In my previous tutorial, I took an example of 10 circles and I told that all the 10 circles are of red color. So that's a homogeneous population with similar units. Look at this 12 circles. There are 12 circles. Can you say that these circles are similar? No. There are distinct groups in these circles. If you look at them carefully, you will see that there is a blackish color, there is a red color, there is a yellow color. Okay. You can see that the whole population is divided into three different colored circles. So what we need to do first is divide this population into different groups of similar colors, that is stratas. So now we have three separate groups, a group of blackish color, a group of reddish color, and a group of yellow color. Now I have to select total three samples out of these three groups. So naturally I'm going to select one sample from each separate groups. So I get one black sample, I get one red sample, and I get one yellow sample. The method of selecting this sample could be a random number table, or you can take a lottery method, whatever you want, it doesn't matter. But you need to divide our original population into three separate stratas and then select a sample from each strata based on the total units under population, and then now we combine our these three samples into a single sample. So from the population of 12, we selected three samples such that we could select the sample representing each separate strata. So this is stratified random sampling. Let's take illustration and understand how it is done. Draw a random sample of 1% students without replacement from 1500 students. So 1% of 1500 is 15. There are 600 students in the first year, 500 students in the second year, and 400 students in the third year. We have to use the following 43 digit random numbers by taking first 4 random numbers for the first year, next 14 for the second year, and the rest for the third year. Now the 40 random numbers are given as follows: 1, 2, 3, 14 in the first row. That would be for the first year students. So these number will be used for first year. These second row numbers will be used for second year, and the remaining numbers will be used for the third year students. That means that in a college 1500 students are there, which is divided into three stratas, that is first year, second year, and third year. So rather than directly selecting students from 1500, we will select 1% students from 600 students, that is 6, 1% students from 500 students, that is 5, and 1% students from 400 students, that is 4. So what we are going to do, we are going to assign numbers 1 to 600 to FY, 1 to 500 to SY, and 1 to 400 to TY students. Next, we are going to calculate 1% of 1515, that is dividing it into FY 6, SY 5, and TY 4. Let's start with first years. Now the population of first year is 600. So from these numbers, any number which is greater than 600 will be cancelled. Okay, and we have to select 6 students from this. So first one is 158, so we will select a student with roll number 158. Next is 092, then 411, then it is 745, which is greater than 600, so just ignore that. Next is 009, then 724 is again greater than 600, 674 is also greater than 600. Next is 550, 716 is greater than 600, so that we will not take. 359. So these 6 students will be selected from the first year class. Next, second year. Now the strength of the second year is 500 students. So when we are selecting students from this row, we will ignore any value which is greater than 500. For example, 676, 631, etc., etc. Let's start. First one is 384, then 019, ignore 676, ignore 631, then 390, ignore 557, 299, then ignore 786 and 706, take 206, ignore 729, take 344. No, we only have to take 5 students, right? 6 students for FY, 5 students for SY. So next we have to take for TY. Now in the TY we have these numbers, and the strength of TY is 400 students. We only have to take 4 students. Any value greater than 400 will be ignored because maximum number is 400, so anything above that cannot be selected, right? So first is 227, ignore 483, 741, 766, then 027, 070, and then ignore 648, and then take 238 because we have to ignore 956. So when you combine all the samples from FY, SY, and TY, you get 15 students out of 1500 students, which represent the population perfectly. That is 6 from FY, 5 from SY, and 4 from TY based on their strengths. So this is how we take a stratified random sample. Illustration 5. For studying the usage of mobile phones, randomly selected 7 persons without replacement from 30 boys and 20 girls from a locality of a city are taken. There should be 3 boys and 4 girls in the randomly selected 7 persons. Now the random numbers are given for boys and for girls. We know that 30 boys and 20 girls are there. So we will number boys from 1 to 30 and number girls from 1 to 20. We have to select 3 boys and 4 girls. So starting with boys, using the random number given for boys 82, 95, etc., etc., we have to take 3 boys and the maximum number of boys are 30. So any value greater than 30 is to be ignored. So 82, 95 will be ignored and we will take 18. Then 96 will be ignored, we will take 20. 84 will be ignored, 56 will be ignored, we will take 11. Because only 3 boys are to be taken, we will take 18, 20, and 11 numbered boys. Next, girls are there. Now we have to select 4 girls, but the maximum number of girls is 20 girls are 20. So any number greater than 20 is to be ignored. So first will be 04, then 13, then 11, then 8. Done. 4 girls, 3 boys, 7 people have been selected. So this is how we take a stratified random sample. Moving on to some final topics of this chapter, that is advantages of stratified random sampling. First, sample is selected from each stratum, so population is properly represented. Because we are creating stratums and then selecting sample from that, we can say that population is represented well. Generally, this method provides results with more accuracy compared to other methods, because we are dividing the population and then selecting samples specifically from the groups. We can say that we have more accuracy. This method enables to maintain predetermined level of accuracy for each of stratum. That means it also means that we are not just taking a sample from the population, we are taking samples from specific groups. That means the level of accuracy which we want can be maintained from the stratums. Administrative convenience is increased in this method. That is, administrative convenience means managing the population, managing the stratums, managing the samples becomes easier, because we are dividing the work between the groups rather than tackling the whole population together. So when we are dividing the groups, we can survey them separately, we can get results, we can ask them questions separately from each other, so we can take our time in doing that, so it becomes easier. Separate enumerators can be appointed to select samples from different stratas. That is, we can provide separate enumerators to separate stratas rather than using the same enumerator for the whole population. So division of work can be seen in this method. Disadvantages of stratified random sampling. Sometimes it becomes difficult to divide the whole population in different stratas. Sometimes it becomes difficult. It is not always, we can not say that it is always easy to divide people according to the different characteristics. Sometimes the characteristics are vague. They are not that easy to differentiate between themselves. So it becomes difficult to divide them. If stratification is not proper, that means if our division of population in stratas is not properly done, the accuracy of the results obtained by sample inquiry decreases. The procedure of estimating population parameters in this method is more complicated as compared to simple random sampling. So the method of estimating population values from the sample values in simple random sampling is quite easy. But the same thing in the stratified random sampling becomes difficult, because we are taking samples stratifically by stratification. So that means we are combining different values into a single value. So it's like calculating combined mean or combined standard deviation, which is not that easy to do. So my dear friends, with this I end our today's tutorial. We have discussed stratified random sampling in this video. Let me know how you feel. Please give me a thumbs up if you are new. Subscribe to my channel. Next time we will discuss the systematic sampling, the third method of the sampling according to your syllabus, and with that we may end our chapter. Thank you very much once again, and stay with me till the next video. Welcome students to Vitan Sir's Unacount Academy. That's better way to success for you. I am Vitan Vora and I teach accountancy, statistics and social science. You can contact me on my cell number 919426310184. Please give a sub to my channel and also check out my other video playlist which you can see on the screen. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video.